Hi, my name is Marala Scott, and I'm one of the award winning authors of the memoir In Our House Perception versus Reality and Surrounded by Inspiration. I want to share something with you today, and it's a word, just one little word that had tremendous ramifications in my life. I want to tell you about it in hopes that it doesn't do the same for you. During my journey through life, there are many things that I've learned, but one of the most significant lessons is how and why to forgive. Because of my childhood, I had a lot of pain, and with pain came the responsibility of carrying a heavy suitcase filled with mistrust, doubt, and anger. Overall, I didn't really have much faith in people, but I could always count on the contents of my luggage. I believed that it would protect me, and I relied on them to bail me out of every situation. See, here's how it worked. If I met someone with a wonderful character who presented himself like he was a great candidate to be in a relationship with, I'd simply pull out mistrust. If I needed someone to count on, doubt was always there. But my big protector was anger. Anger was a little greedy, as it took up most of the suitcase. It kept me from progressing because I had too much of it that I was dragging around. Everywhere I went, I just had to take that burdensome piece of luggage with me, regardless of where I was in life. It didn't take long for me to remember to open my luggage and let the contents run rapid. One day, I turned around and realized that I was alone and tired. I had no one to carry my heavy luggage. No one wanted the burden. Besides, many people kind of had their own luggage. So I had to keep dragging it along throughout my life, allowing the contents to keep holding me back because although I took it everywhere, it really wasn't wanted anywhere. With tearful eyes, one day I dropped to my knees and prayed in faith and asked God to help me with this problem because I clearly didn't know what to do. There was one little word that flooded my heart and invaded my heavy spirit. That word was forgive. I grumbled and refused. Why should I? That would be cowardly of me to let people that hurt me the most off the hook. I can't do that. I won't do that. I've been carrying the luggage so long that I didn't need anyone to help me anyway. Sure, it would be nice, but forget it. I picked up the tattered handle and dragged my luggage around a little longer until it was completely wearing me down. My heart was heavy and I was really unhappy. I wasn't progressing at the pace I should have been if I didn't have to carry that heavy luggage. I prayed again in faith that God would answer me, and I asked Him to release my spirit from all the pain that I had. He did, but the same little word came yet again: forgive. I was deeply troubled because I thought if I did forgive, it meant everything I'd been through was for nothing. Everyone that hurt me and caused me great pain got off the hook just like that. They'd be forgiven for everything they did to me. What about my pain? Surely I wasn't going to let anyone off the hook. So you guessed it, a few more long, agonizing years passed with me dragging that luggage. I was a bit unhappier because of mistrust, doubt, and anger. See, they were evolving, but I wasn't. The content sure caused a lot of problems and even some losses for me. There came a point when I wasn't confident it was worth keeping that luggage anymore. So I prayed again. I knew I'd been asking God for something I wasn't ready to accept until now. This time, I opened my heart and asked God to help me because it was too big a task for me to take on alone. He did, as He had before, but it was a process that I was finally willing to undertake. I had nothing to lose but mistrust, doubt, and anger. Actually, a lot of anger. I opened the door and let forgiveness seep deep into my heart. I didn't forget anything that happened to me as a child, but I realized how many years I wasted dragging that luggage along. Everything that was in the past was done. It was over. I don't have the power to change history, and hanging on to it was unhealthy. My future was now my focus. But forgiving really wasn't for anyone other than myself. They'd probably forgotten what they did to me, or perhaps they'd even asked God to be forgiven at some point. Some of the people who hurt me, I never even saw again. But I thought the burden of carrying that luggage was protecting me. It wasn't. It was destroying me. Just me. I had wasted years for nothing. Why was I so determined to be angry when I had a wonderful life ahead of me to enjoy? The past was further behind me with each waking day. Forgiving someone is setting yourself free because you really don't understand how much refusing to forgive someone is disrupting your life and your spirit. I knew I'd want God to forgive me, and I couldn't continue to be a hypocrite and be unforgiving of others. That didn't make sense. It wasn't until I let the word forgive have true significance in my life that I began to flourish into the person I am today. I was able to let go of that luggage and take any flight I wanted without penalty of a heavy bag. The power of mistrust, doubt, and anger, that power they have, are destructive. The act of forgiving someone is an amazing release to your spirit. When I did, I understood the pain in my past allowed me to help others in my future. Forgive. Try it soon. Please don't waste your valuable life the way I did.